Hello everybody, Spectrus here. Today we're going to be beginning a brand new series that we thought up a while back, specifically for Halloween. So, this one is called, What if Fortuneteller Baba raised Goku? Now don't forget to join the Discord and follow Lytro on Twitter. That being said, here we go. This story begins with Goku landing at Baba's palace, where the Ghost Usher finds him and brings him in. Now, this Goku has hit his head on the pod to keep things consistent without adding what if Goku never hit his head to the story. So, going forward, Baba decides to take him in. Seeing this young child with a tail, she decides that he has a lot of potential, and decides to have him trained by the rest of her fighters. Now, if you don't remember who they are, you've got Spike the Devil Man, Bandages the Mummy, Invisible Man, and Fangs the Vampire. Baba decides to read his backstory with her crystal ball and does see that he is a Saiyan, and to her knowledge, the only survivor. However, this doesn't really matter to her, as she will just be raising him to be a monster like the others, as he kinda fits the role. I mean, he does have a tail like a monkey. And, you know, we do have stories like King Kong. This idea is even more reformed when one night he looks at the full moon and transforms into a Anazaru, which prompts Baba to send out all 4 members of her team to figure out a strategy on how to deal with Goku. Oh yeah, and in this timeline, Goku will still be called Goku, as Baba would hear the name Kakarot from his history and would decide that it sounds really dumb, and that he really doesn't remember it, so there's no point. The 3 warriors go through various strategies. Fighting head on, they would actually manage to do well, but Goku just keeps getting back up. They can't use lethal force, as that would anger Baba since she wants him as a fighter. So they decide to try to cut off his tail to see if that does anything. Luckily for them, it does. And Goku returns back to a normal child, well, as normal as Goku's gonna get, and Bandages picks up the boy and carries him inside the palace with everyone following. About a year or 2 later is when Goku's real training begins. Baba goes to Kame House to ask Roshi what kind of clothes would be good for training a child. Roshi would show her the ideas she has for the Turtle School gi for his next apprentice, and she likes what she sees, deciding to craft one similar to it, but not exactly, with her gi being a black and purple scheme along with some wristbands. Goku wears these clothes from now on as he trains. Over the years, Goku and the other monsters train and get way stronger than they were in canon. Goku is shown a more aggressive fighting style and adopts more dirty tactics as the years go on. However, now that Goku has grown so strong, I'd say maybe around a power level 40, while the others range from 25 to 90, they're not going to get as much ganks as Goku did either, because, you know, they don't have Zenkais. But they're not to be scoffed at, they're still pretty strong. So, that being said, Baba would decide to send Goku to train with Roshi to further his skills for the Tenkaichi Budokai. Goku is taken there by Baba, who lets Roshi know that this is his new student. The two had met a few times due to Roshi stating that he does visit Baba a lot, but they never really had sparred before. Roshi had actually been training a bit to get back into shape so that he would be able to teach Goku efficiently, because he did expect that one day he would have to train this young child. The first thing Goku is tasked to do right after Baba leaves, though, is to find a young, beautiful woman, which Goku does fairly quickly. This time it isn't launched though. Instead, Goku finds Bulma and a turtle being attacked by a bear thief. And oh yeah, Goku is still pure-hearted in this timeline, just more serious and able to do dirty tricks. That being said, Goku beats down the bear thief and asks Bulma what is she doing there. She explains the Dragon Balls to Goku and how she just received a 4-star Dragon Ball from an elderly man named Gohan. Goku would then pipe up saying that that ball looks very similar to the one around my Master Roshi's neck. And this would shock Turtle because to his knowledge, he didn't know that this young child was the disciple of Goku because he had been away from his friend for so long. That being said, hearing this bit of information would entice Bulma into going along with him. Going forward, Goku would place the turtle into the ocean, allowing him to go see his old friend. Bulma would hop up on the Nimbus with Goku, and Goku would shoot off, with Bulma screaming all along the way. And as they are flying, Goku would introduce himself. Once they do arrive, Roshi greets them, noting that Bulma is definitely a beautiful young woman. Bulma does state, though she isn't staying long, pointing towards the ball the turtle hermit is wearing around his neck. Bulma then explains the Dragon Balls, and Roshi says that he'll let her have the ball as long as she makes one promise, to return and stay for the rest of the summer. Bulma would sorrowfully agree to this and take the Dragon Ball from Roshi. Just as she's about to leave though, the old master comes up with something to keep Goku away so that he can get closer to his old strength. He goes and tells Goku that the next thing he has to do is go with Bulma to find the Dragon Balls, and is not to return until he's found all of them. Goku agrees, once again hopping onto the Nimbus, and Bulma gets into a boat from the castle. Then they travel along to Oolong's village where he had been terrorized. Goku easily dispatches of him without any of the whole dress up like a girl. They get the Dragon Ball from the villagers and take Oolong along with them. They then head toward Fire Mountain and come across Yamcha. Goku is still hungry like in the main timeline, but due to his massive strength compared to in canon, even when weakened, Yamcha can't land a single blow. Goku easily bodies him from the first time around, forcing Yamcha to chase after them much sooner. With Yamcha and Goku not rematching, this saves a bit of time so that when Goku and the gang arrive at Fire Mountain, Chi-Chi is still there with the Ox King himself. Goku takes on the Ox King and actually equals him this time around, only winning due to calling forth the Nimbus to save Bulma from being attacked. But makes the Ox King realize he's a student of Roshi. Goku's bravery in this fight impressed both Chi-Chi and Yamcha, with the latter respecting him greatly, and the former falling in love with him. This Goku also isn't much smarter than the canon version when it comes to human contact, as Baba was mainly raising him for power and skill in mind, as he would be a free fighter for her team. This means he still agrees to marry Chi-Chi, and he alone puts out the fire with a big beam attack. It doesn't destroy the whole castle like Roshi did, but it is enough to find the Dragon Ball and move on. The gang arrives in the village with the rabbit mob, and Goku uses basic beams to kill Monster Carrot without touching him. Moving on, because Goku's only way of being trained by Roshi is to collect all the Dragon Balls, when Shu arrives in the Pilaf mech to steal the Dragon Balls, Goku quickly stops him and chases after the mech, destroying it. This leaves Shu alone and forced to join them in finding the next Dragon Ball. Shu uses this as a way to lure them into Pilaf's lair, now that the whole group has gathered up together. The crew gets trapped in Pilaf's room, but Goku breaks the wall easily, forcing everyone to rush out and fight off Pilaf and Mai, while Shu takes on Yamcha to stop him from leaving. This doesn't go well for the Pilaf gang, as they're all beaten down and the wish is up to the main crew to decide. Bulma and Yamcha gather together and try to think up of a wish. Goku looks at the full moon and then transforms into an Ozaru, attacking the crew and destroying the castle. Puar and Yamcha quickly figure out that they can slice off his tail, which works, reverting him to his original state. As Goku gets up, everyone once again tries to decide on their wish. Bulma, wishing for the perfect boyfriend, is now out because now she has a thing for Yamcha, and Goku doesn't really have an idea what he would wish for. So this leaves it up to Yamcha, who has major respect for Goku and bravery. Yamcha decides that the whole ape thing is kinda cool, and that he wants something like it. He then asks Shenron to give him the spirit of a wolf, and the dragon grants his wish. As the balls scatter, Yamcha's aura emanates around him, and a loud howl can be heard. Yamcha's Wolf Fang Fist ability is now a set multiplier similar to the Kaioken. It will boost him an extra 50 in his strength, and he will grow whiskers and fangs with a wolf emanating around him, like we saw in the Path of Power. Anyway, Goku has to return to Roshi, and so does Bulma, which Yamcha has no real problem with, as he respects Goku a lot. This results in everyone arriving at Kame House together, seeing the Turtle Hermit super buff and punching and kicking the air. Goku yells hello, and immediately powers down. Putting his shirt back on, Roshi asks who the new guys are. And in short, Goku and Yamcha end up training with Roshi, along with Krillin. This results in a much higher power level for everyone involved, as Roshi had to push them all as hard as the strongest one there, which was Goku. This also means Launch is arrested due to not being saved by Goku and Krillin. After the 8 months are done, the gang heads up to the tournament. Goku sees Baba and her fighters. Goku waves hello, and they're all happy to see each other, as for over the years they've bonded quite substantially. Goku asks if they're participating in the tournament, but they say that they're only there to watch him this time around. Goku is a bit saddened that he wouldn't get to fight his old friends with his new power, but is ultimately okay with this. And so the roster for the tournament stays the same. Only Roshi, Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha are all strong. Yamcha and Roshi's fight mainly goes the same. However, now that Yamcha's got better training and his Super Wolf Fang Fist is now a thing, he actually lands a blow before being knocked out of the ring. Krillin beats Bacterium, Nam beats Ranfan, and Goku beats Girin, without getting his tail back though. Krillin and Roshi face off, with Roshi ending up the victor just like in canon, and Goku easily defeats Nam as well. The final fight is Roshi vs Goku, where Goku actually has the slightest edge. He is barely managing to outclass his master, although he doesn't know it's him. They equally clash with a Kamehameha that Goku copies from him, thus making it a tad bit weaker. The Hermit has to resort to hypnotism in the Thunder Shock Surprise a lot sooner, but the intensity of the Thunder Shock Surprise makes Goku regrow his tail, transforming him into an Azaru once more. Roshi powers up and destroys the moon just like in canon, and now the tired Goku and Roshi duke it out. But remember that Goku has the strength advantage, especially now that he has his tail. Roshi is trying everything he can to tire Goku out further. He can't let his student win or he'll become arrogant, he thinks to himself. And so he does one last ditch effort to win. He grabs Goku by the tail. Luckily for him, his hunch worked, and he managed to lift Goku off the ground and slam him off the arena. Jackie Chun was the winner. Roshi treated everyone to dinner, and Goku did not find the 4-star Dragon Ball. Instead, he went back to Baba's to train more, so that he could face that Jackie Chun guy once again at the next Tenkai Ichi Budokai. He'll gain more strength and more techniques as well due to this. As for Yamcha and Krillin, they both decide to continue their training under Roshi, so that they can result in better outcomes in the next tournament. Bulma wants Yamcha to come back to Chaos Corp with her, but he really wants to pursue fighting in this universe. And Bulma respects that, but also hates that she won't be able to spend time with him. She hugs the Woven Warrior, making him blush a tad bit, and tells him to call her every night. Yamcha promises, and the gang go their separate ways. Now, you might think that the Red Ribbon Army arc wouldn't happen, but Baba had seen while she was watching the crew spar that some Red Ribbon soldier guys were passing by. She decides to send Goku out to follow them to see what was going on as part of his training. So Goku does, and quickly realizes that they're really bad people. He beats them down and asks what their goal is, to which the soldier replies that they're collecting the Dragon Balls. Goku immediately rushes to the city trying to find Bulma, and he eventually does, getting the Dragon Radar and rushing off after the Dragon Balls, casually botting all the soldiers, including General Blue. Mercenary Tao is sent out, and Goku is fast enough to catch Bora's spear before it pierces him. Tao has a good advantage over Goku, but he overpowers him with a Kamehameha, damaging him a good enough amount to rush in and kick him a few times before putting his fingers together and firing a purple beam at Tao, causing a small explosion that seemingly kills him. This attack also electrically shocks Goku, showing that he clearly wasn't ready for it. Upa and Bora thank Goku before he heads off to gather the Monster Squad to take down the Red Ribbon Army. They do so, and Bora begins to train Upa to be strong. Afterward, Goku is sparring with his fellow monsters, learning from them and gaining strength rapidly. With his new strength, the gap has shrunk, and they all push each other harder than they ever have before. We then bring ourselves to the 22nd tournament, where Tenshinhan and Chaozu make their debut. Goku and the Monster Squad are very powerful, and are all entering the tournament. That said, so is the more human team, with Roshi, Yamcha, Krillin, and Chi-Chi, and Upa. Yes, Chi-Chi decided to train more with the Oxing over the 3 years to try and impress Goku, since she saw his fighting ability firsthand. She then later went to Roshi's to further her strength. As for Upa, he wanted to seek strength after seeing Goku protect his father, so he trained with Bora for a while, but eventually went out to seek Roshi. He was the youngest and the weakest of them, but still there nonetheless. This would make Yamcha and Krillin even stronger as well. The preliminaries go by, and Invisible Man, Upa, Chaozu, and Chi-Chi are all eliminated eventually by various characters due to being the weakest of their main teams. I want to specifically point out that Invisible Man was eliminated by Tenshinhan himself to show his skill off. Chaozu still messes with the bracket though. This leaves the bracket of Tenshinhan versus Yamcha, Roshi versus Bandages, Krillin versus Spike, and Goku versus Fang. So we go into our first match, and Yamcha immediately pushes Tenshinhan way farther than he did in canon. Since he's the last one of the Crane School in the tournament, Tenshinhan raised to his full power very quickly. Yamcha tries a Kamehameha, but Tenshinhan uses the Ki to avoid it. Leaving Yamcha with his last resort, he pulls out a Wolf Fang Fist, growing whiskers and fangs, and attacking with great power that Tenshinhan could withstand, resulting in him being nearly taken out of the ring. But he manages to use the Four Witches technique mid-air and touch the outside wall with his 2 extra hands, shooting himself back into the ring with a kick to the tired Yamcha's face, knocking him out of the ring. Everyone is shocked at this display of power and skill, and the next round progresses. Bandage and Jackie Chun square off, both prepared to take each other on. However, the win is actually fairly easy for the stronger version of Roshi. Bandage lands a few decent blows, managing to wrap him up in his, well, wraps around the old master, who easily breaks out of it by buffing up and grabbing the bit he was letting out to loosen up and swing him around until he launched him out of the ring. The next match is Krillin versus Spike, and this is actually the closest match so far. Although Spike has the upper hand, both of them land very good hits on each other, and Krillin, seeing Yamcha perform the Kamehameha, does one himself. He aims it and fires it at Spike, who is almost taken out of the ring, but uses his wings to fly above it, swooping down and tossing Krillin onto the ground, eliminating him. The final match of the first round will be Goku versus Fangs, which does not go well for Fangs. Firstly, Goku has substantial power advantage over him, and the second, he knows all his tricks and weaknesses. Goku starts beating him easily, but he transforms into a bat, rushing over to try and fight Goku once he reforms. Goku sees this coming and T-poses, forming a cross which scares the vampire. Goku then after images around Fangs several times so that he sees this image over and over again. Using this, he grabs Fangs as a bat, forcing him to transform back into his regular self, and as he goes to bite Goku, Goku jumps super high and kicks Fangs downward. He then starts charging up a Kamehameha to end it, but Fangs just transforms into a bat again. However, he did not expect Goku to see this coming. Goku turns the blast around and fires it at his bat, so that he can rush downward and slam Fangs onto the ground next to the arena. It works, and Goku is passed to the next round. Everyone congratulates Goku, who tells all of his friends on both sides that they fought well and did amazingly. Now we move on to the semi-finals. Tenshinhan versus Roshi, Spike versus Goku. Tenshinhan versus Roshi goes similar to in canon, with Roshi having a slight power edge. Roshi, however, still jumps off the ring after testing Tenshinhan's mindset like he did in canon. Next is Spike versus Goku. Now Spike was basically the main mentor for Goku, and so this fight would be a grand one. Goku and Spike went at it as equals for quite a while, until Goku decides to up the pace, easily dominating for the most part. Spike actually used his wings to fly around Goku, but it wasn't enough. He was still too fast, even with flight with the advantage. And he already knew that Goku could fight while he was in the skies, so in the end, when Goku goes for the ring out, Spike congratulates him for surpassing all of them. Goku is happy with this, and the final match begins. This Goku has a slight strength advantage on Tenshinhan, but it won't really change much as Chaozu will still freeze him and everything will play out most the same here. Tenshinhan still ends up winning the tournament by a hair. After it's done, with there no arrival of Tambourine because there's no Power Pole and Dragon Ball for Goku to leave behind, and Tambourine would realize that there are way too many of them and they're all too powerful for him to beat, which King Piccolo agrees with. He instead creates Symbol a lot earlier to start collecting the Dragon Balls while Tambourine kills the other tournament participants. The group decides to split up again, with Upa telling them about his home by Korin's Tower, which Roshi decides is a good place for them to start training, so everyone should head there next. However, without the King Piccolo arc happening yet, Tenshinhan and Chaozu aren't close enough to the main group yet. So, Goku lets Tenshinhan know that he would be welcome to train at Baba's palace anytime with him. He would just smile at the offer and leave along with Chaozu to go train alone. Roshi, Chi-Chi, and Upa go back to Comet House while everyone else travels to Corn Tower, including Baba's monsters. King Piccolo eventually finds all the Dragon Balls while everyone is climbing the tower and wishes for his youth, killing Shenron. He then creates Drum, and with his 3 children, he plans to take out the remaining tournament participants, starting with Tenshinhan and Chaozu. He sends Drum and Tambourine to do that while he and Symbol go and kill Master Roshi. Goku, almost done climbing the tower, feels an evil presence around Tenshinhan and Roshi's energies. Krillin and Yamcha note that they also felt this, and so they all actually decide not to continue climbing the tower, but instead chase after them. Since there are 7 of them, they decide to split up. Goku, Krillin, and Yamcha going after Roshi. Invisible Man, Fangs, and Bandages, and Spike go after Tenshinhan and Chaozu. But that being said, that's where we're going to leave this first part. So, what do you guys think of this scenario? Do you like the way the events are turning out so far? Let us know in the comments below, and I would love to wish you all a happy Halloween. That being said, I'm Spectrus, aka Lord Glacier, and I'm gonna get going now. Goodbye!